Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Marion.
And I'm Corey Ballmeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We are very rapidly approaching the release of Kaldheim.
Yes.
Preview season.
We made it.
Just about coming to a close.
Yep.
And that means we've got some time to really look at decks that are promising for this season and look at, second passes with different cards, really, refine the decks that we're playing here on Versus.
Exactly. A lot of ideas that we had early on, but, initially jumped the gun because of just the design of the show. We're playing with the cards right as they come out, but of course we're not going to get everything that goes into that deck. So coming back to really add everything and really start to see how Standard's going to shape out is, this week's plan.
And, over the course of the couple weeks that we're doing this, we learn about the cards. Maybe we put it in a shell that didn't quite work in, and we figure out different ways to maximize their effectiveness.
Yep.
And that's definitely true of my first deck. I'm going to be playing an Abzan party list that, while it does not look very similar to the Jund Party Elves deck that I played last week,
inspired by
it is certainly inspired by what I learned during that match. So the Elf Party deck was just too slow. Because of the way Party works, you need to devote so much deck space to getting the engine online. You don't really have room to include, sources of card advantage like the Great Henge that aggro decks have used so well in this format, or a lot of good interaction.
Yep.
You've really got to be very linear and focused in your own game plan, and that means you got to lower the curve and you got to be fast.
Yeah.
So that's what I've tried to do with the Abzan list. Is it's almost all 1 and 2 mana creatures. I think it's 15 1s, 16 2s.
Okay.
So 31 cards in the deck cost 2 mana or less, and there's 3 coveted prizes that you're hoping cost 2 mana or less.
Yes.
So really 34 if you want to include those. And then 4 Squad Commander at the top of the curve. That's our one of our big party payoffs. And then 1 Binding the Old Gods. That's just meant as a tutor target for coveted prize.
Sure.
And 21 lands. So the deck is super focused. I've got a ton of party payoffs. Squad Commander, Archpriest of Iona, Malakir Blood Priest, Acquisitions Expert, and coveted prize.
Cool.
So 19 party cards as well. Really, really focused on it. And the key additions from the new set, Usher of the Fallen and Jaspara Sentinel. Just gives you 2 more 1-drops. So the party decks, when we tried them in the fall, were again a little bit slow and they didn't really work out. Now we have this critical mass of 1-drops that I think it can work.
Yeah, sounds pretty sweet. And on my end, I'm going to be playing Bant Blink. I think the very first deck I played was Jeskai Blink, and I just absolutely loved what that deck was doing, but didn't really play too many full-on kind of Blink-style decks since then. And then I played the Abzan Blink deck last show, and or just Abzan Doom, I guess, is what it would definitely be characterized as. And I really wanted to just combine the best of both of those decks, and Bant seemed to be the shell that would make sense there. In Search of Greatness is a card that looked really good last time. Sheikah's Chariot, I forget what Asika's Chariot. That's a card that every time you've played, I haven't yet to cast the card, but every time you've cast it, it looks great. So that's kind of like my not sure how great that card's going to be, but if you blink with Yorion, it's still pretty nice. So,
are you playing Nico Eris?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's important with Chariot too, because now you can make shard tokens with it.
Oh.
I was making one of the impressive things to me in the Jund Dragons deck where I played Chariot was that you could start making food and then turn the food into cards with Trail of Crumbs. Yeah. So that rather than just putting more and more things on the battlefield, because you're going to force a sweeper anyway. Yeah. So extending more to the battlefield has a high diminishing returns. You extend to the battlefield in a way that isn't going to get swept up in the sweeper and generates card advantage. You have that ability to do that in this shell too.
And I also have the food package. So I'm double dipping in food and enchantments here because I really liked the food package of Trail of Crumb
in the
Abzan deck. So I just added it to the Bant style deck. This is a deck I actually played a decent amount of in Old Standard. I just called it Big Bant Bird, but but it was just topping out at like Dream Trawler and stuff, and it was not that great up against Rogue, so it wasn't too great, but I did play it a decent amount, and there was something there just in that shell, and I think Nico Eris and I think In Search of Greatness and stuff might be that push over the edge to make it a viable tier 1 deck.
In Search of Greatness particularly seems good against rogues because it's a huge snowbally card that forces them to react to any minor permanent. Yeah. If there's a Llanowar Visionary on the battlefield, suddenly they have to worry about you having 2 4-drops on your turn, and they can't probably can't stop both.
Yes.
So do they kill the Landlord Visionary? Then they might not be able to stop the first 4-drop.
True.
Puts them in a lot of awkward spots for a 2-mana enchantment. Dimir decks can't really remove enchantments.
Yeah, it is pretty tricky. And one last thing we have with the deck is still Haka, the interaction that we played on our first show, but really haven't played it since because it does have to be in a specific deck. We didn't want to just harp on this style of deck, but being able to play Haka on the front side and then Charming Prince it out or Yoring it out and get Ulrind on the other side, I think is a really cute interaction, but I don't want that to be a deck's 100% MO, right? I want decks to have a lot of different angles of attack because I think that's just what Standard has to be right now.
Agreed.
And you're doing a deck that has the one side of attack, so we're going to see.
Yeah.
You're doing it quite well.
Yeah, I do my thing. I do it well.
Yes.
Let's see if you can stop me.
Let's try it. Okay, so you've had the marbles since 1995 or so I guess I think I get to go first to end second pretty soon. There's got to be like a mercy rule, right?
We'll negotiate that one in our next contract, I guess.
Absolutely. And all of these cool preview cards that you see, everybody, you can go to starcitygames.com/previews to keep an eye on how to get those cards.
Also, before we start, I'd like to give a shout out to Canister for the raid.
Oh, Canister. Piotr, what's up, buddy? How are you? All right, I'm going to be on the play. This hand is completely reasonable. I will keep.
I will also keep.
Okay, we're going to go with Bark Channel Pathway and make some food. Pass to you.
I will start with Jespera Sentinel.
All right.
Pass the turn.
Doing a little ramping. Okay. Yeah, you got to really ramp to your 3-drops, all the 3-drops you have, right? Okay, I'm going to play a Plains and Trail of Crumbs and pass to you.
That is the start.
The start. Yeah, Goose in the Trail just feels so good.
Okay, definitely want Boulder Loft Pathway.
Okay.
And I've got Wildwood Tracker.
Okay.
Make a white Archpriest of Iona. Archpriest of Iona.
Okay, so
I'm down 3 for party. I've got Warrior, Rogue, Cleric.
Okay, perfect.
The hardest type is always Wizard. The only Wizard in the deck is Tajuru Paragon.
Okay.
So gonna have to find those or tutor for them. But 3 is pretty easy to get.
And it gets +1/+1 and flying, huh? Okay.
A target creature does at the beginning of combat.
Oh, okay.
If I have a full party.
Gotcha.
Oh, Corey, if you want some stakes and extra motivation, Bigfoot Says Hi had a good suggestion. If Corey loses again, he can't play Yorion anymore.
Oh, no. Okay, well, I'm focused. I won't be narrating any of my plays anymore. I won't be giving away any info. I'll have to be taking this seriously. All right. Well, we got 2 options here. It's if we feel like we have to control the battlefield a little bit to try to stop you from locking up a full party, which probably would make sense. Yeah, okay. Let's go with a Glass Casket. I think on the tracker here, I don't care about your mana too much, but I want to eliminate some aspects of party. I'm going to play a Temple. Do I want this magic card? Can I at least put it for an option? Nah, I just don't want that one. Okay, I'll pass to you.
Ross, question about your deck. Shaun of the Dead wants to know why no changelings to help with the party mechanic? Were there just none that fit?
So
you got one changeling, right?
I've got a changeling in the sideboard with
the 3/2 is kind of a changeling, right?
Yeah. Tajuru Paragon sort of a changeling.
Yep.
But like, what changeling would you like me to play? There are just no good ones. That's my problem. Is like
Realm Walker, I guess, probably the best one, right?
Yeah, but like that's a pretty bad card.
Oh yeah, it doesn't seem great, but that one seems like the best one.
Yeah. Okay, so very happy that Corey took Wild Tracker because I have another Warrior.
Okay.
With Usher of the Fallen, and I'm going to make black mana and play a 2-mana Coveted Prize.
Okay.
And that will get this, and then I will attack for 6.
Okay, seems pretty strong.
Brings you to 14.
14, yep.
And I'll pass the turn.
All right, end step, activate Trail. Not really loving either of these cards. Let's go with Omen. A draw. Okay. Let's go with... I'm going to go with Charming Prince. I guess I want to activate Trail first. Now, we'll just sack this for blue. Yeah, this is a tricky turn here. I have so many options. To double spell, to play 2 spells here on 2, I have to not get a food. I could try to trail first to hit an untapped land, but if you miss, it's slightly risky. And I figure you're probably going to complete your party next turn, which is going to make these Archpriests ridiculous. I do think I have to find an answer for them. So, okay. Let's go. Let's add blue. I'm going to float the blue and trail.
Okay.
So that's not bad. Get Oren. So I can just play Haka if I want here. It's not an insane play by any means, but really wanted to land. Sorry, what is this one? Oh, yeah. The card is sweet.
Yeah, just a solid card, you know, solid standalone.
Yep.
I would say the weakest individual card in the deck is probably Wildwood Tracker.
Yeah.
And it's still just a 1-mana 2/2 most of the time.
Yeah, it's still completely reasonable. Okay, just because I want a food here, I'm going to blink this out.
So
and
that's using the blue mana?
Yeah, and just play this, pass to you, get a food.
Yes.
Oh,
Didn't interact with me.
Yeah, I figured that's not good for me.
That is not good for you at all. Drew sort of irrelevant land, but I will play Tajuru Paragon, which is what I tutored for.
Okay.
Now we can make black and play this other coveted prize that we had.
Okay.
And I get to cast a 4-mana spell from my hand. I will...
yeah, you just cast it for free, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I could search for something and cast the other spell in my hand, which is nice because I drew the one binding the old gods.
Classic.
But I think I'd rather just play Squad Commander here and get 4 Core Warrior tokens.
Yeah, I'm dead.
And at the beginning of combat of my turn, my creatures get +1/+0 indestructible. I'm also going to each Archpriest will just target itself. So these are 6 power flyers, and this is a 3/1, and they're all indestructible.
Oh, that seems fair.
Attack you for 15.
That seems fair. Well, that's absolutely absurd. Yeah, I am completely dead. I am completely dead. And they just have indestructible all the time, right?
No, it's a trigger from the beginning of combat, just like Archpriest.
Yeah, I don't have the Wrath in the main in this deck anyway, so I don't really have a way of coming back. But, yeah, I'm just going to jump.
And take 12?
Yep.
You're a 2.
All right.
Pass the turn.
All right. Well, none of these cards are going to do it.
I only have 10 lethal attackers.
Yeah. All right. That's game. That looked insane.
That is what this deck does at full strength.
Yeah. I guess if I hit the other... the other creature?
You need to hit the Sentinel.
You just have to?
I mean, in that situation, I mean, if you know the deck list, you know that Warrior and Cleric are the most common types.
Sure.
Those are the easiest for me to get. The Sentinel was also my only choice of black mana.
Oh, okay.
If you see my lands, and I just think the mana is important.
Gotcha.
You kind of scoffed at the mana acceleration into my 3-drops, which I don't have any. But
and that was the thing, is you were like empty-handed, so I was figuring you don't really need the mana. It's the worst creature, but no, that does make sense to actually get your tutor. So
yeah, get the tutor, and I was stuck on 2 lands, so let me double spell with the Paragon. It was
spicy. All right.
Steus would like to know: is Demonic Tutor a good card?
Well, the Demonic Tutor was fine. The 1 mana find and cast my 4-drop was a little bit better.
Yeah, that is insane. That is an absolute payoff. So
one of the things I liked about this instead of Jund is Jund's big payoff was Zagras at the top end. A good card, but it's CMC at 6, so you can't cover the prize for it and cast it off the prize.
Yeah.
This with Squad Commander as your top end means that you essentially have 7 of them as your high end card. They're also not legendary like Zagras is. You can have multiples. You double pump your team. It can get out of hand.
Pretty spicy. Yeah, it definitely did. All right, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with sideboarding here on Versus Live. All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live here we are sideboarding between Bant, Blink, and Abzan Party. On my end, I am just trying to bring in some heavy hitters here. So we got Baneslayer Angel and a couple Gargaroths, as well as our 4th Wicked Wolf, which is going to be great against aggro, as well as 2 Doom Scars. I have a 3rd, but I want to be a little more proactive on the play. On the draw, I'll switch into, of course, bringing in that last one. Vivian is just too slow with what you were doing. That was way too fast for a Vivian to be effective. And then we're just trimming on a little bit of everything. Trail of Crumbs and Omen of the Sea seems like a weird one-of split, but you really never want to draw 2 of each. You know, like 1 of each effect is completely fine, and they're both still a little clunky against an extremely fast deck. And then, and then take out 1 of the Chariots and 1 Nico Eris, just to trim a little bit from everything instead of taking out just one specific card.
And on my side, sideboarding a lot more than I would usually like to in a deck like this. You know, when you're linear, you need to sideboard less because you know every card you cut away from your main plan makes all your other cards worse. But in this case, we are bringing in all 6 of the creatures in the sideboard, which do have relevant types. Okiem Adversary is a warrior. Mass Vandal is a changeling, which is excellent. So now we have 7 creatures that can fill in for any type.
Okay.
Mass Vandal, of course, also being able to deal with, you know, Trail of Crumbs, you know, even just a food token, a glass casket. Seems great here. I expect, you know, a Bant deck to be bringing in some heavy-hitting creatures like Corey is. So we're bringing in all the Heartless Axe, having a little bit of removal. And then I'm replacing 1 of the squad commanders at the top of the curve with 1 Toski. This is just, you know, a card that, rather than overexpose you to a sweeper, can let you take advantage of that, you know, early lead on the battlefield that you have, draw a few cards, and then when, you know, the sweeper does come, you can reload. You have to trim away at a lot of the party elements when you're sideboarding here, expecting a lot more removal. So Acquisitions Expert, I think, is the worst one, but we're trying to trim around the edges. You can't cut too many of any given creature type.
Makes sense.
2 of those, 1 Blood Priest, 1 Coveted Prize coming out, and cutting a lot of the warriors, since that's what we're bringing in more of. Wild Tracker, I said, I think is the worst individual card in the deck, so I think this card is going to get sideboarded out a lot, especially when Adversary is coming in. And then a couple Usher of the Fallens. This is a much better card in matches where they're not blocking as often. You know, when you're able to get attack freely and then boast, and then once they have removal spells, you know, it leaves behind some tokens. But I think generally weaker in a matchup like this. So we are raising our curve a little bit, taking out a lot of 1s, bringing in a lot of 2s. But that's also fine in a post-sideboard game that you expect to slow down, and you want to be a little bit more powerful, a little more resilient.
What a time. Isamaru is now a card that you're just like, no, I don't want that. That used to just be a busted card back in the day.
Yeah, they didn't even let you have 2 out at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. It was too powerful.
I remember playing a lot of Isamarus.
Oh, yeah, same.
Mono white aggro and Kamigawa block constructed.
Yep. My mom would drop me off at the card store at that time, I feel. That was so long ago.
Yeah. The mono blue deck had the sideboard River Kaijin.
What was that?
Just Horn Turtle, but it was a spirit.
Oh, good. Just to have some defense?
Yeah.
Against the old powerful Isamaru?
They main decked Threads of Disloyalty. That's how desperate they were. So
that card was busted.
Yeah, once you got to the sideboard. Well, it wasn't very good against the Gifts deck.
Yeah.
Are you bringing all these cards up, Rob? Did you have all your Kamigawa?
I had River Kaijin. Yeah, it's up. I am sorry for the state of Magic, I guess.
I'm pretty sure we told you we were going to talk a lot about Kamigawa block constructed today.
Yeah, it's a Kamigawa day. Yeah. Everyone knows that.
Kamigawa block, Opera, Tiny Leaders.
I eventually moved on to play the Godo ramp deck, which was one of the most fun decks I've ever played in my entire life.
Love it.
You could kill people on turn 4. You cast Godo on turn 3 because there's a way to ramp to 6 mana in the deck because of Sakura Tribe Scout and Kodama's Reach.
Okay.
And then you found what was the big equipment? The Dragon's Fang, Tatsumasa.
Okay.
Godo Bandit Warlord. And then you found Tatsumasa, right?
Okay.
Which gave +5/+5, and Godo would give you a second attack. So the very next turn, it costs 3 to equip. You'd have 7 mana. You'd equip it. Now you had an 8/8 that attacked twice, and you use the other 4 mana to play and equip a Jite, and you're able to attack for 8, get 2 counters, then attack for 12.
hey, I know what a Jite is.
Yeah. Wasn't there a Godo creature as well?
This is the Godo creature.
Oh, okay. Godo
Bandit
equipment?
No. Well,
Godo
found an equipment.
Okay.
That's what Godo does.
Gotcha.
And you found Tatsumasa.
I just thought there was an equipment that was called Godo something.
I think there's like Godo's War Club or something.
Yeah.
That was not in the deck.
Fair enough. Okay, game number 2.
Wait a minute. Can you get, if you think about it for a minute, can you get the actual name
of
the equipment?
Of that equipment? It was it was like a War Club, right? Something like that.
Tenza Godo's Mall.
Godo's Mall, which is kind of like a club, right?
Okay. Fair. Yeah, whenever a set goes out, like if we're 2 sets out, those names get pushed away for
I knew you wouldn't get it, Corey, but I thought Ross had a chance.
Yeah, I didn't play much during Kamigawa either, to be honest. So
I actually didn't play a lot in the spring. I got back into Magic that summer, so I played a lot of the block format. My hand is solid.
All right, I will start with a temple. Not a bad card to keep here. Not great. Yeah, we'll keep this one. Pass to you.
Okay, I have an Archpriest event.
Alrighty. I will have a Gilded Goose, get a food, and another temple. Don't need another.
The awkward part about bans, you don't have a triumph. You got to put a lot of temples.
Exactly, it's quite annoying, and evening them out because there's green, white, blue, white, and blue, green. So you really had that was probably the trickiest part is how many temples I wanted to play.
Yeah. Okay, I will play Luminarch Aspirant, get a counter on the Archpriest, and attack for 2.
Okay.
Both clerics, so the Archpriest is not pumped, from its base power and toughness.
Sure. Okay, take it. 18.
18, pass the turn.
All right, let's go with a land number 3. And yeah, we're just going to Skyclave this Archpriest. Pass to you.
That was a nice draw. So I've got a green source.
Okay.
And let's go. Yeah, let's go counter there.
Okay.
Not going to attack with it, and I'm going to play Occam Adversary and Usher of the Fallen.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right.
So we're warrior, cleric.
All right. Well, let's see. All right, so we're going to play this, get another green source here.
Was a little worried about the mana in this deck. I've been happy with it so far. Haven't had too many issues.
Yeah, it looks pretty decent.
Spara Sentinel helps a lot. There are 4 Indatha Triomes, which we haven't drawn to have awkward tap lands.
Yeah.
I'm still really mad that base camp enters the battlefield tapped.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. That's just rude. Just rude.
Let us have our fun, please. That was an interesting draw. How many cards you got?
I have 3.
Gargaroth is a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I think step 1 for this turn is to just see what Corey's working with.
Okay.
So I'll play Acquisitions Expert, and I have 3 Cleric, Rogue, Warrior.
I got 3 decent cards.
Yeah, those are not bad. No food, so can't cast the other Gargaroth next turn, but that Gargaroth is still just going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think a bigger problem than Trail or Nico Eris, though, again, Trail is still pretty good. You got the Goose with it. Nico Eris, it's fine. I guess you can deal 4 to attackers sometimes, but...
Yeah, Nico Eris has really impressed me the first show, and it's been declining with me lately. I never just have a great spot to play it. Maybe it was just really matchup dependent with the first deck we played where I got a lot of hits with it, but...
Yeah, I'm just going to take the other Gargaroth.
Okay.
And...
Gargon.
I think I just want to do this and start working on these counters. So I'll play another white pathway and another Aspirant.
Okay.
Now, where do I want to put the counters, and do I want to attack with Occam Adversary? I think what I want to do is put the counters on other creatures and get in with the adversary, and have it so that the Gargaroth trades for other things.
Okay.
Now, how can I best distribute the counters if I went like, what did I just do? I think I just knocked a die over.
Nailed it.
My instinct is either 2 here or 1 and 1. 2 here gives me a lot of toughness on the expert, which is the rarest creature type too. If I went 2 here, I could block. I could block like this, I guess, and you could kill these 2. Yeah, you could only kill 3 things. So that's 7 toughness, or kill 2 things. So I'd give you the 2 for 1, but I'd make up the card advantage of the adversary, hopefully. If I went, yeah, either way, any way I distribute the counters, this triple block is going to present 7 toughness.
Okay.
If you draw any sort of removal spell, I guess is the awkward thing. I guess then I'd have this 1. Yeah. I guess if I wanted to play around removal, I'd have to go like this. Because then I'd have 4 2-power creatures. So if you killed 1, I'd be able to triple block. You would deal with this one, but then the triple block would be you would just deal with my entire board. So I don't think I can really beat a top deck removal spell if I attack with adversary, and I really want to attack with the adversary. So I'm just going to put 2 counters on the expert.
Okay.
And get in there.
All right. I go to 16.
I'll draw a card.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
All right. Untap. A draw. It's an interesting one.
And I know you have Nico and Trail.
Nico Trail, yep. So, yeah, that was a pretty good draw, but I had a somewhat scripted turn that was a plan, at least. That one does kind of put a little wrench in it.
You didn't have enough mana to be able to Nico, sack the shard, and kill the adversary with it.
But my plan was to draw a card and then kill it.
Oh, sure.
Yep. So that was my baseline plan. Just attack, draw a card, play Trail. You know, if I hit a land, even better, because then I don't have to use the food. But then just Nico, kill adversary, dealt with, you know, a good chunk of your board. Nico is going to be a little vulnerable, but that's not that big of a deal. That is my baseline plan. But this card was a good draw. So I'm going to start with an attack and draw a card. Also interesting.
And I will make that block.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know if I care about this that much. I think I'd rather just kill these 2. So let's do that. Guard down. Now I do another good one here. So now it's a extra interesting decision. But I'm still just kind of thinking that this is just the better play. And I could play Trail first. No, I can't actually play Trail first. Okay. All right, we'll go with the Sheikah's Chariot. Get some cats. And pass to you.
Best set of draws. I think I have to attack with the adversary here because you either lose the apparition, the chariot, or both cats, all of which is good. Can't really, I guess, could attack with the usher too. You could then eat the usher with the chariot, but then you don't have a good block on the adversary. Maybe you just chump, like, you know, crew here, chump with a cat. That seems like a pretty reasonable block. You still have a cat to reproduce with the chariot. Yeah, so I don't think I really have a good attack other than the adversary, so I will get in with that.
Okay, I will crew and block with the chariot.
Sure. Oh, I guess so this has to put counter somewhere.
Yeah.
That'll go here.
Okay.
And then I've got a land, an Archpriest, and I'll buy the Giganta.
Gigante, okay.
Pass the turn.
Untap. Not a bad draw. I gotta see what's the flip side of this one. Yeah, okay, even better. So I got the board on a decent lockdown here. Well, we got Cleric
and Warrior. It's 2/2.
Okay, not bad, not bad. So I'm gonna play this as the blue side. Play this as Mistgate. So I could play Nico Eris if I wanted to, can still play the Trail or the card I drew.
Card you drew last turn. You drew a land this turn.
True, true. But the card I drew last turn was quite good. Interesting. Let's go with... Yeah, I guess Nico Eris with Skyclave is pretty cute as well. I don't quite have the mana to do it this turn, but I can kind of try to set that up. Okay. I think this is just a good turn for... Nico Eris. I guess if I'm going to just go Nico Trail, I might as well go Trail first and use the Goose, because that is the plan.
Is there a reason to Nico Trail instead of just Nicoing for X equals 2? Just getting like you're not under that much pressure. Just take your free shards.
True, but I don't get the card this turn. But yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Are you really under that much pressure that the time matters?
I don't know. I just died so fast last game. I had to.
I definitely got some sequences of draws that could turn this around pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So maybe
even Giganta is pretty large. I mean, not insane or anything, but
one might say in charge, much like Charles.
Charles is in charge. I'm actually just gonna play
days and nights.
I'm just gonna play Trail and then just pass to you.
Ooh, holding up. You don't have instant speed interaction.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I might have some stuff. You don't know.
I don't know. That's why I'm confused. Hence my confusion.
Yeah.
Young Baumeister.
I bet it's Omen of the Sun.
It's always Omen of the Sun.
Well, I am going to put a counter on Archpriest with the Aspirant.
Okay.
I'm going to play this land as something.
Okay.
And play this thing.
Okay.
Do I want second black mana or third green mana? I'll just play it as another Black Source and have nice symmetry with 2 of each.
Alrighty.
And pass the turn.
Okay. That is what I was hoping you would do. I'm gonna make a food, because I drew Wicked Wolf the other turn. I wanted to be able to kill this Giganthe. I was hoping you wouldn't put a counter on it. Okay, so Wicked Wolf, target this, sack, Trail trigger. Get In Search of Greatness, and then sack the other one. And I don't think I want to get in there. I'll pass to you.
Okay, we need to draw something cool here.
Something cool?
Okay.
Got cool stuff?
So I think I want to leave green. So yeah, it's Warrior, Cleric, Warrior, Rogue. Yeah, we want to hit the Rogue. I'm going to play a Tajuru Paragon with Kicker.
Okay.
That'll be top 6.
Top 6, you put 1 into play, right?
Into my hand.
Or into your hand, yeah.
And I found the Jesper Sentinel.
All right.
So we'll do
now you got a full party.
Yep. It's the only one I could take to, but it's the one I wanted.
Okay.
So that completes my party. And now I can start going to town. And I know you have... you've played the Trail, so I know you have Nico Eris, 2 unknowns?
No, Nico Eris and In Search of Greatness.
Yeah, but you find off the Trail.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
1 unknown.
So if I attack with the Archpriest, it's vulnerable to you being able to draw a card and kill it with Nico. How do you do that? You do that with a land, and you can play Nico for 1 and sack the shard.
Yep.
Oh, but I do need to start, getting some damage through. 1 counter on the Aspirant doesn't protect it from that, because it'll still only be 4 toughness.
Yep.
You're at 16 You'd just have to. You would literally have to draw untapped land too. A temple wouldn't do it. You have one unknown. If it was a land, you would have played it last turn. So that I'm confident it's not a land. I think I just slam in.
Okay.
I guess I could go like give this flying and just attack with something else I'm okay having die, but I'm actually not okay having this die. It's my only warrior. I would have to just give aspirant flying and get in for 2 while putting the counter here. So I'm sacrificing 5 damage. Yeah, I just don't think it's worth it because I feel kind of behind right now.
Okay, you're gonna take attack for 4.
No, it's 7.
Oh yeah, that thing is gigantic.
Its base power is 4/2. It gets pumped by itself to 5/3, and it has 2 counters on it. So it's a 7/5 flyer.
Well, that makes me want to block a little bit more.
You could jump with the goose. But I'm also pretty happy getting the goose off the battlefield when there's a trail here and a Wicked Wolf around.
Yeah, and 9. Going to 9 here, I think is reasonable. You only have 1 card. Yeah, I'll take it.
Brings you to 9.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
Luckily for me, my other card is Eorian. Probably going to be pretty good. Or at least I wish it was. Okay, so what do we want to do here? I think I can... Alright, I'm going to start with a Gilded Goose.
Gets you a food.
Give me a food and attack for 5.
No blocks.
Okay.
I'm at 15.
Alright, and then I will play Yorion, use the food, exile these, you get a 1/1. I had to use that food to cast it, bring these back. I want to fight the aspirant and apparition the Iona. Does that leave you with... No, so that does take away your cleric, but you just have the other 3, huh?
Yeah, it would leave me with 3 to party, but no payoffs.
Yeah, and I think that is important here. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll get 3 food and then pass to you.
Yeah, having the Yorion back was also really good. That's an interesting draw.
Interesting.
2 in hand. I know In Search of Greatness.
You know both of them.
Both Endy cards.
Yep.
But you're at 9. That's the tough part. You've got a bunch of food.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm probably not winning this game, but we'll try.
Okay.
I've got a Luminarch Aspirant and a Malakir Blood Priest. That's going to drain you for 4.
Okay.
So I'm full partied. So you're at 5. I'm at 19.
Okay.
I'm going to get a counter somewhere, and I think it should be on the Sentinel, so this can check some 2/2s.
Okay.
Yep, put on the Sentinel and pass.
All right. A draw, and that's what I wanted. Okay, so I can go Nico Eris and start the Yorion loop and just Yorion every turn. That seems pretty good. Yeah, so I just make it not being able to be blocked. Play it again with this. I get to kill 2 more, plus make some food. I think that's better than just making sure I just have food available to sack because I just have flyers to block. Yeah, I don't see how that's not correct. Okay, yeah, we'll try it. So I'm going to play this for 0. I'm going to tick up on Yorion. I'm going to get in there.
It can't be blocked when it deals combat damage. It goes back to your hand?
Yep.
Deals any damage this turn. Okay.
Okay, and then I'll attack with these 2.
Yeah, so I don't really have a good blocks. I will take 7, unless you want to sack some food.
Yeah, no, take 7.
Go to 12.
Okay, return Yorion, cast Yorion, get rid of these foods, blink, 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 you get a 1/1, comes back, 3 more food, let's fight, probably aspirant, so I have to kill both clerics if I want to control your party, which I think is important. Or if I want to take out clerics, excuse me, I could just aim for 2 of these here. That might be better. Okay, yeah, I will aspirant this and Wicked Wolf this. And pass to you. I don't think there's a draw that kills me, but I wouldn't be surprised.
You never know. Got you at 5.
Yep. And I think after this, if I can survive this turn, then I can lock it up by just always having mana to gain some life.
Interesting draw. Did you Paragon with Kicker?
Okay.
So I can get Squad Commander, I can get Mass Vandal, which doesn't really do a whole lot, or I can get another Paragon. The problem here with the Squad Commander is next year you're just going to continue looping. You're probably going to just deal with the 2 Paragons. I'll have Cleric. This will be a Warrior. Maybe I get lucky and draw a Rogue or the last Paragon or Mass Vandal and get 3 off of it.
Hey, you're actually just dead. I just unblockable Wicked Wolf and make 2 food, and then you can't block the Flyer and Wolf and take 13.
Because you have 4.
I have 4. I can make
5,
2
6,
more.
7, 8. Yeah, 11. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
All right. Well, In Search of Greatness was pretty awkward because I drew it late, but
you were ahead enough where
it didn't really need the extra push. But yeah, it could be a card that I just kind of need to take out on the draw against you, just because it's not going to be fast enough.
I really needed a Heartless Act that game. I think if I have Heartless Act for that, if I go like Acquisitions Expert 1 Gargaroth, Heartless Act the other one, I'm in really good shape.
Yeah, I think that would have been really good. And the one card that really impressed me was the Chariot once again. Just a really impressive card. I'm going to keep it In Search of Greatness, but this is probably a situation where I would take it out.
You didn't actually see Chariot do a whole lot. It came down and traded immediately.
Yeah.
But the 2 cats and the Chariot itself just made my attacks really awkward. Yeah. It really limited my options.
To kind of go over the top of me there. Yep, agreed. All right, so I'm going to bring those in.
I shuffled my Giganta in.
Nice, as one does.
We should really start sleeving the companions in a different color.
There you go. Oh.
Write that down, Rob. Yeah.
Rob, you don't have a pen. I don't know what you're writing.
Rob has many pens. Leather-bound books.
Yeah.
Literally 5 of them.
Yeah. All right, you got pens. We believe you. All right.
Think you're the arbiter of penship?
Okay, game number 3. Rob, you got any questions for us before we start our 3rd game?
Yeah, when it comes to these Yorion decks, how do you feel Bant Blink stands up to like your Obzon Yorion deck, Doom Foretold you were playing the other day?
I think the Abzan deck seems a little bit more streamlined to start, but, Omen of the Sea has always been amazing in these decks, and if Nico Eris turns out to be, what I hope the card can be, and the Haka interaction, then I think it's good, but as of now, I think the Abzan deck is a little bit cleaner. I think it just does a little bit. I think it's a better In Search of Greatness deck right now. And I kind of built this just to test things out where it's doing a couple too many things, I think, but I want to try all the things just to see which ones they're good. So In Search of Greatness might not be good. Azika's Chariot might not be good. But it's worth trying out.
There's a lot more proactive blink-based synergies in Bant.
Yeah.
The Abzan deck is better at interacting.
Yep.
And ultimately, when you're a Yorion deck, you're so good at generating extra cards that I like having really good interaction.
Same. And the Sagas, I'm just such a big fan of in the other list. So I like the Abzan one a little bit better right now because I do still think Doom Foretold is just a phenomenal card. I think Elspeth's Nightmare is a phenomenal card. And Binding of the Old Gods, I think, is going to be the new amazing card. So just by a little bit, I like that better. But I think I rank my Blink shells so far, Abzan, Jeskai, Bant. So far, I think all of them are strong and they all have their different strengths. But I really like Showdown of the Skald, and I'm excited to try that tomorrow and stuff.
I think I'm willing to bet the Bant deck is probably better in Blink Mirrors because that's where having just more proactive good synergies is going to be really helpful.
And just Omen is usually pretty damn strong in that. Yeah,
just consistently better Yorians as well.
Yep.
So that's probably where the Bant deck is going to thrive, but it's going to be worse, specifically matchups like this where I'm very linear and you need to interact.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'd want my Abzan shell.
I will keep this.
I'm gonna mulligan mine. We don't have any green. This one's a pretty no-brainer. Dang it, green on top would have been perfect. All right, we'll take a mulligan. Rob, you got one more question for us?
Yeah, Histeus wants to know, Ross, if you consider playing more cards from Eldraine and fewer cards from other sets.
I've generally considered that, yes. And this is actually a deck that has a lot of cards from Zendikar Rising because it's so focused on party.
Yep.
But a lot of my other decks are just supporting Eldraine cards with powerful cards from other sets.
And smart. Eldraine is just a messed up Magic set, so that makes total sense. Okay, take 2, mulligan to 6 here. All right, already pretty good start. Yeah, I can keep this. We have a pretty obvious redundant copy that we don't really want. We'll put that on the bottom and let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to play Slitherbore Pathway and just spare a Sentinel.
Okay.
That's the turn.
All right, I have a goose. Pass to you.
Man with the geese. Indoth the Triome, another Sentinel, make a white, and play Usher of the Fallen.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Okay. What do we want to start with now? It's a decent amount of pressure. So I do want to put a body on the battlefield here. That's interesting as well. I think it is important to make sure I hit my next land drop as well, though. So yeah, we're just going to go with the start. I'm going to take 3, unfortunately, and play a trail. And pass to you.
Had that start quite a bit.
Yeah, but you're pressuring me so much. I almost, want to play a worse play just to facilitate it.
Damn, getting hammered by these Triomes in this game.
Yes.
Wanted an untapped land there. It's going to cost me 3 damage probably.
Okay.
Because I've got an Aspirant, which is nice. Third creature type. But I really want to cast this turn, and I need both Sentinels to do it. So yeah, 1 creature each with the Sentinel, make 2 black, and play a 2-mana Coveted Prize.
Okay, but you don't get to play it for free. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
All right, and then you're done?
Yes.
Okay, I will sack this to True. And you never have to reveal this, right? Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm going to find that. Right, yeah, because there's no restriction on type.
Which hen gate? Okay. I will pick that. That is what I wanted.
Isn't the hen gate what you have at the bottom of your stairs?
Yeah, there we go. My little puppy Henry. All right, so I do want a blue source here. All right. So we're going to play Mistgate. And yeah, I think we just got to put up the defense. We're going to play the Chariot.
Okay.
Get some cats, and I'll pass to you. Oops.
So
Cats.
Oh, I forgot I counter on something, yeah. Imagine one of these guys. It was going to be on a Sentinel.
Okay.
I had that planned out.
Sure.
Okay, so I had I drew another land, which isn't great, but I've got a nice turn here. Just in case Corey had a way to break up, kill a creature, I was specifically thinking Wicked Wolf on his turn.
Okay.
Instead of finding Paragon, I found Masked Vandal.
Okay.
So if you would Wicked Wolf something, I'd at least get to deal with the trail.
Sure.
I guess I could, try to, attack and chump something into the Chariot and deal with that way. Mm-hmm. But I'd rather just play Masked Vandal and show you I drew both Coveted Prizes because I'm awesome.
Okay.
So that's going to find... So... I could find Toski here, which would be better against a sweeper. You can't Doomscar next turn because you've used the food. Or I can just, find Squad Commander and start smashing.
Squad up.
I kind of like Squad Commander and start smashing, to be honest, because you can't Doomscar me next turn. I'm not even, how are you even going to deal with the Squad Commander? Even if you could go land Wicked Wolf and trade them. I guess you could sort of deal with the Squad Commander by dealing the Shapeshifter.
Do that one more time.
Because then I won't have Party. Yeah, I think I just go Squad Commander.
Okay.
If Corey had the potential to Doomscar me next turn, I think I would go Toski. And then just, not attack with the Aspirant. I could put counter on Sentinel, attack with these 3. You can either eat one with a Chariot and I draw 2, or you can trade here, chump here, and I draw 1 with the 2 cats.
Yeah, the card's insane.
Yeah, so we've got Squad Commander. We're going to get 4 Core Soldier tokens.
Okay.
Is that what that makes? No, they're Core Warriors, but we only have Core Soldiers, I guess.
Close enough.
But important that they're Warriors, potentially. And now I think I'm okay leaving a Sentinel back so I can boast here. It effectively takes 2 damage off the board this turn to get 2 damage next turn.
Sure.
So I've got an Aspirant trigger. This is going to be able to trade to the cat anyway because it's +1. So where do I want to put the counter? Maybe I actually want to put it on Masked Vandal so you can't fight it with a Wicked Wolf next turn. I kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to put the counter there. Everything gets +1/+0 and indestructible. And attack.
All right, I will just block your 3-1
Block the Usher,
here.
so you're going to take 5.
Yep.
Brings you to 12. And then use a Core Soldier.
What did I take 3 from?
This. Everything gets +1/+0 and indestructible.
Oh, yeah, but I'm saying before that, I just had myself at 20.
Oh, you took 3 from the land.
Oh, that's right. Yep. You got it.
Okay, and then tap Soldier with Sentinel and my other untapped land.
Make a 1/1.
Boast here. Now, this is a human warrior. Let's just use Shaheens for those.
Sure.
Everything's a warrior, but...
Everything's a Shaheen.
And pass the turn.
All right, yeah, we're in trouble.
Important turn for Corey here.
Yeah, and my hand is not good, so we are quite dead. Yeah, I guess the best thing I can do is try to set up to draw a Wrath next turn and hope I can live. Doesn't really seem like it.
I'm going to have 4, 6, 9, 10, 11 attackers. You're going to need 5 blockers for sure.
I can do that, so I can live. I think that's really my only hope.
You need 6 blockers.
6 blockers, okay.
And everything's going to have at least 2 power.
Well, I guess I have to go...
I searched...
Charming Prince to blink this out. Oh, I don't even have double white. Oh, okay, I'm just dead then. So I have another Charming Prince to just gain life and then scry. Well, I won't do it. All right, yep, GG then.
Wow.
Yeah, insane. Top decking the second coveted prize was just messed up.
I had them both in my opening hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just needed to, draw a couple lands, which I did.
Or you just needed a shapeshifter, right? Or that's the one you
that's what I found off the first one.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, my opening hand, my opening hand was Sentinel, Usher, double prize, 2 lands, and so I just needed to sort of any third creature type. Right, and I drew Aspirant, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Just a powerful card, and then a couple lands. So pretty ideal draws, except for the lands entering tapped. But was able to mitigate that with Sentinel. It cost me a little bit of damage on the first attack.
Yeah, but it was definitely fine.
Yeah, but ultimately it was fine. Deck looked good.
Yeah, it looked really sweet. Definitely be a nice aggressive shell. And I mean, this is draft 1 where you could probably put something else into it if you think. But it looked pretty good.
I think the main deck is
very aggressive though. Yeah,
the main deck is not very malleable.
Yeah.
But you can obviously adjust the sideboard, though. I like the sideboard quite a bit, where 6 of the cards are just good sideboard cards. You know, your disenchant creature that every deck is going to want, and your Oak Game adversaries, which are just a good card that still let you keep your party cards. Then you've got a little bit of removal in Heartless Act. You got a little bit of discard. I've got some duresses. The Toskies is your anti-wrath card. That's a good thing to tutor for. Maybe it should only be a one of, like one Toski. There's 2 there. I figured against,
or even just one of in the main. You know, that seems reasonable too. Tutor packages in the main are always, and that card's just fine to draw when you have a deck full of 1s and 2s. You know,
so. and then the one Giganta. So the space I think is pretty well used. I'm happy with the list. And I think we've figured out like what party needs to be. I'm now looking at party like I look at Winota decks.
Yeah,
like, they're aggro decks that do their thing and they do it really well, and they hope it's good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and Iona, a card that we just saw from the last set as being so ridiculously powerful for 1 mana, but it just didn't have the casting crew, you know. And the more and more sets come, the more we're gonna get creatures until we get to 8 set standard or whatever the max is. So yeah, look pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Look pretty sweet. All right, that's going to do it for round number 1. Next up, I'm going to be playing Todd Anderson's mono red deck that he wrote about yesterday. Just really trying out the power of Birgi, because I haven't cast that card yet, and it looks pretty insane to me.
I've only cast it once. I remember it was in the Berserker deck. It looked really good. It should be even better in the mono red deck when you can have that mana floating in your combat and Ember Cleave, haste creatures. And you get that staying power. It seems great.
It seems pretty sweet. What do you got up against me?
I'm going to be playing a little mono blue Snow. This is a deck I played, I think, a week and a half ago, but I've adjusted it quite a bit. There was a deck I was pleasantly surprised by. I remember, I was like, okay, I saw Ascendant Spirit. I'm like, I'm going to build a mono blue Snow deck. There's counter spells, like do that tempo thing. I don't think it's going to be good, but I hope it's good because I love those decks. Yeah. And I won the one match that we played. The deck seemed good. I made significant adjustments to it. I think I've made it a lot better. Frost Augur being a key addition. I caught the Owlruns. You'll see in the list. But,
Frost Augur is pretty sweet too. That card was good for me. Yeah. I just didn't have enough removal in my list, so I wasn't able to capitalize on it. But it is just a really strong card. So,
the big test for blue decks like that, aggressive blue decks, is always other aggro decks, because you usually have weaker removal and weaker creatures, and those are 2 really important things to have in creature mirrors. Yeah. So this is going to be a big test for it. Can it stand up to a red deck?
We got mono red for you then. All right, so we're going to take a short 5-minute break, and we'll be right back here on Versus Live.